Hello again, friends. If you've been with me recently, you know that I've been spending a lot of time working on the gardens here. Tonight, for a change, I want to actually enjoy the garden instead of just working at it. So we are going to do a lovely little date night dinner that we can enjoy in the herb garden. Here's the menu. I'm serving a simple lemon hummus for pre-dinner snacking, classic shrimp scampi for the main course, salad greens from the garden for a second course palate cleanser, and fresh rhubarb compote on Greek yogurt for the grand finale. We're going to start with the hummus. You know, I do make hummus very often because I love it and my spouse loves it. And it makes a terrific pre-dinner snack. I'm going to stir up my tahini here. I will put the recipe I'm following for this hummus in the description box below. It's a very basic hummus, and its main flavoring is lemon. So that's my tahini. And I want equal parts tahini and lemon. And give this a quick spin after I plug in the machine. There is one more flavoring for this hummus, and that is garlic. I'm almost out of my homegrown garlic pucks, so I'm just using store-bought garlic paste because I am too lazy to chop fresh garlic. Then I need a pinch of salt, chickpeas from a 15-ounce can, and I drained the chickpeas and I saved the aquafaba from the can, just in case we need it. And I need olive oil. And give this another spin. And I definitely need some of the aquafaba. Start with that much. I'm looking for a very creamy consistency. And a taste. Oh, this is so nice. Ooh, really nice. I want a little more of this lemon. Let's see if I can squeeze any more juice out of it. Fresh spoon. Oh, this is just delicious. And so easy to do. Easy is the name of the game today. Scrape this into a bowl. And I'm going to serve the hummus with carrot sticks and maybe celery sticks and some crackers. It will be a healthy pre-dinner snack. And just before serving, I will rough up the texture of the hummus. Just before serving, I will rough up the surface of the hummus and drizzle on some olive oil and a sprinkling of paprika, just to make it look pretty. And then this goes into the refrigerator. Clean up, and then I want to get started on the rhubarb compote. All of my hummus dishes are clean, and before we move on to the rhubarb, I wanted to show you these gorgeous peonies that came from Lizette's family's garden. I just love them. And they are sweetly fragrant too. Let me know if you are a big fan of peonies. I certainly am. And I think we can enjoy these flowers on the dinner table tonight. Now, on to the rhubarb compote. And I have about a pound of rhubarb here, maybe slightly more than a pound. I bought this at my local farm store earlier today. and I have washed it, and I need to chop it. And then this rhubarb compote could not be easier to make. It's really just 2 ingredients, or 3 if you include water. But boy, the compote is super delicious. So I need to trim up these stalks. And I just need to roughly chop the rhubarb. So this stalk is pretty fat, so I'm going to slice it down the middle. When I was a kid in the 1970s, my mother used to send my sisters and I out to the garden in springtime to break off rhubarb stems, and she would give each of us a little Pyrex dish filled with white granulated sugar, and we would break off the rhubarb stems, dip the end into the sugar, and munch away. Super delicious. Not particularly healthy, but super delicious. Let me know if your mother or father did the same thing for you when you were a kid. It was the 1970s, what can I say? I'm going to serve this compote on Greek yogurt, but of course it would be absolutely delicious on vanilla ice cream, or even with whipped cream. And this compote is also delicious on pork chops, on fish, on chicken, just about anything and everything. And I will post the recipe in the description below. So I have my rhubarb, and then I need some sugar. Rhubarb is super tart, so you really do need to temper it with something sweet. And finally, I need just 2 tablespoons of water. Give this a quick mix. And then I'm going to cook this on the stove top over low heat until the rhubarb softens. That won't take but 8 to 10 minutes. This compote was done in about 6 minutes. It's very fast to make. And I've let the compote cool for a few minutes, so now we can transfer it to a jar. Oh, this is ruby red. Ah, don't drop the pot, Kevin. Now this sauce will thicken up as it cools. I'm not going to put the lid on it though until the sauce achieves room temperature. But I do want to have a little taste. Holy cow. Oh, this is, I can only describe this as an explosion of flavor. It's tart and sweet. It's just perfectly balanced. And again, this is delicious on everything and anything, including pancakes. Now, before we move on to any other recipes, I want to go out to the herb garden and tidy up a bit there. Also, I want to put a tablecloth on that table. And since we are in the herb garden, we can gather some lettuce greens, and then later we will make a salad. So the first thing I need to do is move this hose out of the way. All of these go in the garden shed. I've already planted probably 100 of the snapdragon seedlings that you and I grew together, and I'm going to give the surplus to Lizette. I have this beautiful calibrachoa. It's sort of a lavender shade. Just going to hide it in this azalea pot for now. And I have extra collard green seedlings, which I might gift to Lizette if she wants them. And I need to find a pot for this mint. Fortunately, I have a pot right here, but will it fit? Not really. I need a bigger pot. Well, I'm going to tuck the mint over in a corner so we don't see the plastic pot. I have a no plastic in the garden policy. No plastic on view, that is. I think I found one that will work. Well, it's not perfect, but it will do. Next, I need to move these bags of compost. And boy, they are heavy. We had a lot of rain recently. Now I'm going to put these spent flowers in the compost. This is my yoga mat, which I have been using as a knee pad. Yoga mats can be multi-purpose. Let's see, where can I put you? Oh, I think you will look good over on this plant stand over here. I don't even know why this bracket is out here. Oh, and I have yet another pot here. And there is a zinnia growing in it, along with a maple sapling and some weeds. I have to put this on the compost. And this yellow rigger begonia, which is almost out of bloom, can go in this pretty pot and over on the plant stand with my rosemary. There we go. Brushing off some of the debris from this mesh table. I love this table. It's super sturdy. I think I bought it at Lowe's about 15 years ago. And I want to pull it out here a little more. Now this area in the late afternoon is completely shaded. So this will be a nice place to enjoy dinner. And let me fetch my tablecloth. I bought this tablecloth on Amazon a few years ago, and I used to have it linked in the description box because so many of you wanted to buy this tablecloth, and I hope you did back then because they're no longer making this cloth, sadly. And as I mentioned before, we will put the peonies from Lizette's family's garden on this table. But I'm not going to do that until we have some shade here. Meantime, I want to grab some lettuce greens. And my chives are in bloom. I'm going to turn the blooms into chive blossom vinegar, which, if you have never tried it, is super delicious. But I'm not going to harvest the blossoms today. So we can head inside, and I'll make a simple dressing for this lettuce. this salad can go into the refrigerator. Then I want to make the vinaigrette. I make vinaigrette a little differently every time. And I don't need a lot of it because there's only 2 of us for dinner, and it's just a small salad. It's a palate cleanser. So I have olive oil, balsamic vinegar, which I love, salt, pepper, Dijon mustard, and just a tiny amount of honey. And this, believe it or not, will be enough vinaigrette for our salads. And this can go into the refrigerator. We've made a lot of progress here today. I've already made most of the dinner ahead of time. So next, I will need to do the shrimp scampi, but I won't do that until just before we are ready to eat. Oh, and I wanted to show you how thick this rhubarb compote has become. I'm going to put the lid on it now and pop it into the refrigerator. Actually, there is one more thing I can do ahead of time, and that is to slice up some of this baguette. Now, I think my spouse will enjoy the shrimp scampi with rice or maybe pasta, and I will enjoy my serving with a baguette. The baguette will be great for just sopping up those wonderful shrimp scampi juices. And I'm going to toast this baguette in a 350-degree oven just until the slices dry out and become crisp, slightly crisp. And while the bread is drying out in the oven, I can prep the parsley that I will need for the shrimp scampi. And I save the parsley stems for stock. And the parsley and a paper towel can go into the refrigerator until we need it. And I might as well also thaw the shrimp for the shrimp scampi. Now the recipe I'm following calls for 1 3/4 pounds of shrimp. This is 1 pound in this bag. I'm really not sure if I'm going to need 1 3/4 pound of shrimp. We will see. And I'm going to thaw it in a bowl of cold water, which I will place in the refrigerator. Will we eat this much shrimp? Probably. Fortunately, this is a resealable bag. I'll just use some of this. That should be enough. This bag goes back to the freezer, and this bowl goes into the refrigerator. So it turned out there were more things that I could prep ahead of time. This way, dinner will come together very easily.
Before I prepare the shrimp scampi, I might as well assemble the pre-dinner hummus snack. I'm garnishing the hummus with extra virgin olive oil and a shower of paprika. I will skip the crackers and simply serve the hummus with carrot and celery sticks, which, to make life easier, I purchased from the supermarket. I will put the hummus tray in the refrigerator until we need it. For the shrimp scampi, I need butter, oil, garlic cloves. I'm using my homegrown garlic pucks here. Dry white wine, salt, crushed red pepper flakes, and black pepper. Things got interesting when I added the shrimp. I accidentally bought already cooked shrimp when I was supposed to use raw shrimp, but the dish still turned out magnificently well. When the shrimp was warmed through, I tossed on the lemon and the parsley. And then I tucked the shrimp scampi into my preheated 175-degree oven just to keep the dish warm until we were ready to eat. We loved everything about this easy date night dinner in the garden. And it was so much fun to simply enjoy the garden instead of working at it. My spouse and I enjoyed the shrimp scampi with the crusty toasted baguette. I didn't have to make the rice or pasta. The freshly snipped lettuce greens with their balsamic vinaigrette were magnificent too. It made the perfect palate cleanser. And here's the dessert. I garnished the Greek yogurt and rhubarb compote with fresh mint from the garden.
This is so delicious. Tart, sweet, perfect. Are you enjoying the dessert?
Yes.
He's enjoying the dessert too. My dishes are in the dishwasher now, and I've just come back because I wanted to tell you that this was an absolutely wonderful date night dinner in the garden. And even though I used the wrong kind of shrimp for the shrimp scampi, the dish was still as delicious could be. If you enjoyed this episode, please give it a like, and please post a comment below because I do love hearing from you. I will have another video for you on Friday, and until then, please treat yourself very, very well. I can't wait to see you next time. Bye for now, friends.